You know that inner compass we all have, that intuition, that gut feeling we rely on to navigate, well, everything. But what happens when that compass goes haywire? When it doesn't just stop working, but actually starts pointing you with total confidence in the exact wrong direction? We're going to dive into how that happens and why it's so much deeper than just making a simple mistake.
Oh, you know you have. We've all been there, right? I remember this one time. I was so sure about a particular project. I had this deep gut feeling that it was going to be brilliant. I completely ignored all the warning signs, pushed ahead, and yeah, it was a total disaster. It's that feeling, that unshakable certainty, followed by that crash when you realize you were just completely and utterly wrong.
But here's the thing. What if these moments aren't just random glitches in our judgment? What if, under certain conditions, our entire intuitive system can be hijacked, turned completely upside down so that it's not just failing us, it's actively misleading us, all while making us feel more certain than ever? It's a pretty wild concept, and honestly, it's a little bit scary.
So let's get into it. Let's diagnose the problem. When does our gut feeling, our intuition, actually lie to us? Okay, so this core idea, which we can find in classical philosophy like the Bhagavad Gita, makes a pretty radical claim. It says our ability to see the world clearly isn't some separate intellectual thing. It's directly tied to how we act. Basically, our ethical choices, our behavior, literally tunes the instrument of our perception. How we act shapes how we see.
This brings us to the main event. How does our intuition actually get inverted? To really get this, we need to introduce the two key players inside our own minds. You could almost think of them as a hero and a villain.
First up, the hero, Buddhi. Think of Buddhi as your inner truth detector. It's that higher, wiser, calmer part of your intelligence. Its only job is to sift through the noise and tell the difference between what's true and what's false. This is where real, clear, grounded intuition comes from. And then there's the ahamkara. This is our villain, the ego. Think of it as that needy, self-preserving part of you whose main job isn't to find the truth, but to protect its own story about the world at all costs.
And here's where it all goes wrong. When the ego, the ahamkara, feels threatened, it doesn't just get defensive, it stages a hostile takeover. It hijacks that beautiful, clear faculty of intuition, our buddhi, and turns it into a weapon. All of a sudden, that powerful tool for seeing reality just becomes a defense mechanism for the ego's fragile little story.
Just look at the difference here. It's night and day. On the left, you've got clear intuition, the buddhi. It's receptive, patient, it opens you up and expands your awareness. It wants to understand. But on the right, that's the inverted, ego-driven state. It's suspicious, accusatory, it shrinks your world down, makes you fearful, and it's not looking to understand anything. It's just looking for confirmation of its own biases, a total flip.
So what actually triggers this hostile takeover? What kicks off this chain reaction in the mind that leads to a full-on cognitive collapse?
Well, ancient wisdom actually gives us a surprisingly precise roadmap for this breakdown. And as this verse from the Bhagavad Gita shows, it's not just one thing. It's a cascade, a series of dominoes, each one knocking over the next.
So let's just break that down. It starts with a trigger, usually anger, envy, some kind of fear, something that pokes the ego's sore spot. Right away, that powerful emotion creates a delusion, a distortion of reality to justify the feeling. Next, our memory gets, well, conveniently fuzzy. We start forgetting any facts that don't fit the new narrative. And the final domino? Our intelligence, our buddhi, is destroyed, and we fall.
And what's one of the most powerful triggers for that very first domino? It's our own actions. Specifically, when we treat other people unjustly. Our own ethical misstep becomes the poison that corrupts our perception from the inside out.
Have you ever met someone who's just so genuinely good, so clear and whole that being around them almost makes you feel a little uncomfortable? Well, that's because their simple, straightforward integrity can act like a mirror, showing us our own inner conflicts. And the ego hates that. It sees that innocence not as something beautiful, but as an accusation, and it lashes out with envy and hostility, kicking off that whole destructive chain reaction.
So what does this state of inverted intuition actually feel like from the inside? Now, you might think it feels confusing or like you're lost, but actually, it's the complete opposite.
The Gita has this perfect description. It's like you're standing in a pitch-black room, but you're holding a really powerful flashlight. You are absolutely convinced you're seeing everything, but you're just illuminating one tiny little piece of the truth, the piece that serves you. Let's put a modern name on it. This is the illusion of insight. Say it with me. The illusion of insight. It's that terrifying combination of absolute rock-solid confidence paired with a complete and total lack of actual clarity. You feel like you've never seen things more clearly, when in fact you are completely blind.
Think of it like this. You're convinced you're looking out a giant picture window, taking in the whole beautiful landscape. But in reality, you're squinting through a keyhole. And the view on the other side of that keyhole has been carefully edited to confirm every single one of your ego's biases and fears.
So this is the bottom line, the central idea of this whole explainer. Ethical failure doesn't just go along with cognitive failure. It causes it. It's not a correlation, it's causation. Our actions aren't just things we do. They are the very process by which we either tune and clarify the instrument of our perception or shatter it completely.
Okay, so if our compass can get this broken, this inverted, is there a way to fix it? How do we reboot the system and get back to that clear intuition?
The way back isn't some clever mental trick or a life hack. It's about changing our actions to purify the very conditions of our mind. It means choosing to do the right thing, not for what you'll get out of it, but just because it's the right thing. It's about letting go of that frantic, desperate need to be right, to win, to possess, and instead just acting with a calm integrity.
And really, it all boils down to these 4 things. This is like the recipe for getting your clarity back. Fairness in how we deal with people. Humility about what we think we know. A real, conscious effort to restrain the ego when it starts screaming. And a solid commitment to acting with integrity no matter what. These are the building blocks.
And that brings us to the single most important takeaway here. If you remember only one thing from all of this, let it be this. Justice toward others protects clarity within yourself. I'm going to say that one more time. Justice toward others protects clarity within yourself. It isn't just a nice moral sentiment, it's a practical guide for how to see straight.
So I'll leave you with this one last question to think about. And I really want you to be honest with yourself. Take a look at your life, your interactions, your choices, just from this past week. Are your daily actions, the big ones and the small ones, building a foundation for clarity? Or are they piece by piece creating the conditions for confusion? Because the answer to that question, well, that determines which way your inner compass is going to point.